Yeah.
It's getting on. I'm trying to wait to see if we're actually on the air because I believe we are on the air. Yes, we are. Welcome on to the Misfits Racing League sit-down talk show. Week 6, Episode 5, mid-season review. Yes, we are halfway down through the season. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'd like to welcome my good buddy Justin Watson, a.k.a. Cowboy Watson.
A.k.a. No Nut Syndrome.
Yeah.
I got two names, Nick.
My truck broadcaster for you right there. Then I got my Xfinity buddy, Rogue. How are you doing over there?
What's up?
We got the owner himself, Maddie.
How's it going?
We got the truck admin, Dave.
What's up?
And we have a special guest tonight in Michael. How you doing, Michael?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Sounds positively motivational, but hey, gentlemen, it is the mid-season. Can you all believe it? We are nearly done with season 12. But hey, gentlemen, it is
crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Turnover. Our pitcher, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me give Turnover a big hug and say I'm sorry. Here's your big hug. Welcome, Turnover.
Thank you.
Do you feel special?
Yes.
Well, you got a little bit of everything in this one for this show. You got, Dave representing trucks, me representing Xfinity, Michael with Cup, Turnover as a Xfinity driver. You got Rogue as a Cup driver. The
list goes on.
You're a Cup driver. So we all kind of have a good aspect of everything that's going on in the league for this one. So this should be a good show.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Honestly, you're not kidding. So this past week, ladies and gentlemen, we went everywhere you can imagine. We went to Las Vegas and Cup, and then we go up north to Chicagoland for Xfinity, and then we go down south to the short tracks of Bristol. I tell you, there's a lot to cover, and Maddie and everyone has sponsorship word. If you want to talk about that really quick, then go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked earlier in the week and figured if we were going to do a show like this where, you got mainly admins and you guys, you came to me about a mid-season show, so I was like, that could be a perfect opportunity to throw some sponsors out there and give a little info about those. So I have two that I'm going to share some information on, and then I'll turn it over to Dave and he can show the other two that we have that represent. I mean, each series has a sponsor, some type of sponsorship. Whether it be just mentioning the league, doing something for the league. I mean, the guys that we have working with us, they definitely give us a good discount and a good hookup. So, we might as well take some time and shout them out as well. Yeah, so I'm going to start with those guys right there. That was our first sponsor, Mustang Makers. It's actually my friend Leo Benkiki and his partner Joe Slema. It's at Leo's house up in Norwood, Mass. He uses a 3D printer. And they can print anything that your mind thinks of. I'm telling you, I've seen it. He made my son a 3-foot tall Lego character that looks like him by just taking some pictures of him. He did some stuff on his computer, ran it through his 3D printer, and my oldest has a Lego person right down to his camouflaged hoodie that is up in his room.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Cool.
He's made some trophies for the league. He's in the works. We've been talking back and forth lately. We're in the works of getting those other trophies made up, get them shipped out. That's the other part, shipping. Bear with us. But we have some other ideas that we've been working on, me and Dave on the side too. So if you could think of anything you want printed, whether it be, little things that you just thought of you might want, or a trophy for a league, reach out, Google Mustang Makers, Their sponsors with our sponsor, our logo, the logos, so you can use that. And those guys are sponsoring the Cub Series. So, Michael, why don't you fill them in on a little bit about how the series is going?
For sure. I think so. I mean, you look at the Cup side. I mean, I'm going to say something here real quick. I mean, I'm agreeing with Michael. You look at the last couple races, G just won 3 straight, and I tell you what, tomorrow night he's got to start at the tail end no matter what. I mean, he's been on a tear. It's been the Michigan boys week in and week out, 1, 2, 3, and the points you look at that, it's insane. Sure.
Well, he's a former truck champion, so he knows the pedigree for championship racing.
He sure does.
Yeah. Shout out
absolutely.
RKM.
Absolutely.
Co-owner, RKM. He started this thing with me. Yes.
I hope you get to feeling better again, buddy.
So does that mean everyone's going to run a 9 next week in honor of RKM?
Where is next week?
Absolutely.
Where is next week?
Well,
Well,
Dover tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, everyone run 9 in honor of RKM.
Oh, you're gone off the deep
That's a
end.
track you could probably do that with these new cars, honestly.
Right.
You could probably do it.
Right.
You're going to burn
Absolutely.
something, though. You're going to burn something, whether it be fuel, tires. I mean,
Whatever.
you're going to be so
Blow your
loose coming
ass.
off those corners.
Hopefully you don't lose it.
Really quick, going with Michael was just saying about the points, looking at fourth and points is Reb. I mean, remember Reb was a Xfinity truck rookie last year. He moved his way all the way to Cup in just 1 year, and I tell you what, I've said this many times. I think Reb's going to get it done this season. Where? I don't know, but he's been pretty dang fast this whole season in Cup.
I think it's possible with Reb having that truck win at Dover from last season that he could take that information and possibly relate it to his truck cup car tomorrow night. So he could be a one to look out for.
That's true. They really do.
But it's not that. It's more of the layout of the track. Regardless, there's just some tracks that some drivers are just literally good at.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is.
I agree with that. I'd say Reb is definitely one to watch next week. With racing with him in the past, I know I like Dover, and I remember the race at Dover, having a race with him. And, yeah, it's cool seeing that, though. I mean, Nick, what's going on, buddy?
I've been paying attention to
you're
talking about my performance-wise.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna have to put you in a different car or something?
No, keep me in that one car. You keep me in that one car. I swear,
You can get up there and mess with those boys. You
Well,
can
hear
do
me
that.
out. Though. I mean, I know I set a record of 4 straight, maybe, what was it, Dave? 4 or 5 straight top 7 finishes? Was it 5? Jeez almighty. If I finish 7th tomorrow again, I'm...
Yeah, but if you finish 5th...
It's not top 7 finish, it's just 7th finish.
No, if I finish 7th again, I'm pulling the plug. I'm texting Manny, put me back down in Xfinity. Man, I'm not finishing 7th. I'm not going to run 7th. I'm not here to run 7th, man. I'm not running 7th again. Oh, please.
Run me under scheme tomorrow night. Run me under scheme.
I would say yes, man. I've got some struggles, but I'm telling you, once we get the Bristol Dirt, I think it's gonna click. I think that's gonna be a top 3 finish for us, maybe a top 5.
That's what you need. I mean, you look at these. The thing with Cup too is it's the old school points, so you don't have
really
stage points. You don't have a reset to fall back on.
No.
You gotta hope for a yellow, basically, just to
you've got to
get yourself in contention.
Reset.
That's why I said I gotta look into a couple weeks at Bristol Dirt and say, hey, Bristol Dirt's one of the tracks I've been good at the last couple seasons. Oh, okay. We gotta watch out for the 9 guys at Bristol Dirt because Piff just joined and said you better watch out for that 9 at Bristol Dirt.
That's one to watch. Maniac, if Maniac decides to join that, you'll get dirt ringers that'll get in there.
Right.
And I mean, if Maniac and Piff both get in there, it's
gonna be
I may retract that because if you remember last season.
Yeah, you gotta look out. The guys that say, I hate Bristol Dirt, or I hate this, I hate that, those guys are the ones that are really good. You look at that Bristol stuff that
you had JD Carter last year, get a top 5.
Right, and remember Corolla? I think last year he got him. I think last season he was only an Xfinity truck, and he pulled off the victory. And I didn't expect to have a strategy, and I was like, okay, well, I could throw him off and say, hey, I could do this, but then I guess that threw me off a loop. But that's another guy we gotta watch out for is Corolla because he was really good on Bristol Dirt last season. But I'm telling you what, man, if I win Bristol Dirt, I am going to be okay with that. But if I finish them tomorrow, promote me to Xfinity. I don't care. Revoke my cup points. Put me back down Xfinity. I will revoke it.
That's a good segue. I'll get into some Xfinity stuff now. We'll move it right along then. We'll head right into that series.
Why not?
That's a
Let's do it, shall we?
entry into it. So, again, the sponsor... Yeah, Xfinity's popping, and it comes with a pretty cool sponsorship type deal. My buddy Stephen Lester, he does a podcast called Beneath the Oak. They're out of Warren, New Hampshire. It's literally out of his barn. And, I mean, he bought his childhood house off his parents. So he has since converted some things and rearranged some things. So the house that I know from living up in New Hampshire is nothing compared to what it is now. And it's like a bar, BYOB, at what's called the Black Oak. So where they podcast out of is called the Black Oak, like a little bar, bring your own beer, party, feel free to stay as long as you want type deal. But then on Sundays, they run the podcast out of there, and they talk about like what it's like living up there. Stephen Lester, he's got his CDL he drives. Ben Toomey, he's another guy that does the show. He's like your heavy equipment operator. Justin Nugent, he's got the whole book to him. It's just a bunch of guys that talk about what it's like growing up in a small town. And if you want to check it out, it's good. It's a good show to listen to on your way to work.
I listen to them when I go to take little power naps. Actually, it's a good listen.
It's a funny little listen. They just talk about what it's like.
Town, so
exactly. It's a small town feel. Like these 3 guys just really sit there and kind of BS while they podcast and have a good time. And I talked to my buddy Steven, and I was like, if you shout out Misfits Racing League on the pod, I'll do it in return on our YouTube side and see if we can get some more listeners, and maybe we'll get some more views, which come with, the broadcast team. The one good thing about Xfinity is that we have Nick and we have Rogue. These 2 have agreed to step aside, as well as Nick doing it for trucks, which you could run. And him and Cowboy do it over there, and it's much appreciated because these sponsors watch it. Like, these guys write me about the broadcast. So, it is cool to have you guys do that. I thank you guys for that. You guys do a really good job with shouting them out as well. That's a part of our deal. So with that comes a, like you said, very busy Xfinity series this year. Very busy.
Very. I mean, you
I
gotta
have
look at
never
this.
had an Xfinity roster fill up this quick, and I mean, it's tight across the board.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a very, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Matt. Every time, if we're in the Xfinity or truck broadcast, I always tell them, I say, before and after, I always say, Beneath the Oak podcast, make sure you listen to them anywhere you have on Apple playlist or Spotify. Yeah, I always do that. I'm like,
nice, good job. Yeah, I even forgot to say it. Yeah, that's how you check out the podcast, Beneath the Oak podcast.
I was like, that's what you gotta do.
I'm still new to the broadcast, so I don't know like all the platform. I get mine from Spotify.
Yeah, I listen to my music.
And I listen
Spotify.
to them every Monday morning on my way to work, and then when I start my morning at work, it's a nice little hour show. Get you through the morning, and then go ahead with your day.
Yes.
Back to the Xfinity Series, that is... how about that Fula kid?
Right?
Got a couple wins. Got a couple wins now.
Yeah.
He leads the points.
Yeah, he does. That's well. And speaking of points, real quick,
14.
Fula and him and Turnover are tied. Oh, not in playoff points, but Turnover. What do you gotta do this week to get that?
Yeah, Turnover's you're right there. That's this is awesome.
Just hopefully you just stay out of everybody's trouble and have a better finish than him.
I like the
clean race,
positivity.
right?
Love the
I'm going to
positivity.
shout the Ziles. He's worked his way up in the top 3.
Yep, and another guy I want to say is you, Maddie. And I tell you, after the season opener, I tell you what, you had some rough races, but then you came back, and I tell you, you've been bouncing around. You and Dave. I mean, it's a tight battle between you and Dave for 4th.
But I got him with that playoff point. I got him.
Do. Well, here's the thing.
got him with that.
You better not hope Dave gets playoff points this week and say, "Dadgummit, he got me on playoff points." And when we reseed, he's going to be ahead of me. But I mean, man,
you know what the funny part that I've noticed with that, and Dave will back me up for this 100%. On the track, I'm around Dave 24 the whole entire race.
He's raced together a lot.
It's either he's right there in front of me, or he's right there behind me. It's one of those two. We're always fighting with each other because we know it's like that one spot. We need that.
It's like you guys are made for each other.
Oh, it is.
You know, Turnover, do you have that Hug Me sweater for them?
Yeah, I sure do. I got it.
I'm coming up behind him because I go, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Well, you know who's surprising me the most is our very own Cowboy Watson, who clearly is 7th, and he's leading this Rookie of the Year, saying, I tell you, Justin, you're...
Yeah.
I
mean, a nice little Rookie of the Year lead.
What I tell you before
the only thing that's going to hurt is playoff.
Bull Pill's coming on strong.
Here's the thing, though. The next 2 weeks are patience tracks. And what I've seen with some of these guys in this league, some of these guys don't have it. And these next 2 weeks are going to test it.
Dude, I love it.
I don't have it on certain tracks.
And Gateway at Darlington is patience tracks and
I'm
it's going to test
expecting a
everybody.
good run from myself out of Gateway. I'm expecting to be up there with Turnover, with Fula, Ziles, Piff's going to be up there. Cowboy, you've been finding yourself in the mix lately. Eternal, Full Pull.
Yeah, I would start.
I gotta give a shout out to JPR, former champion.
Yes.
I mean,
He's doing 2 races and he already leads the field in playoff points.
And
He
he's
leads the
back in
regular
his
season pretty
points. He's trying to get to that 200-point threshold right now.
Yes. If he does, I don't think anyone wants to see him in the playoffs.
I don't think...
If he
I
can
only
reach
think we're only
that,
going to have about 12 guys anyway in the playoffs, so it's still going to basically be a shoot. It's going to basically be a cutthroat.
but then once the playoffs start and you go down to just playoff, I mean, it's like a clean slate, really.
It really is. Everybody has a
Nobody's
chance once the playoffs starts.
too far ahead, or 5 points is represented from the first to me sitting 5th with the playoff point number.
Right.
Full Pull, he's right there with 3. So points reset, you got Well, this is also depending on if JPR makes that 200 points. So if we say he does, because he joined the Xfinity Series into the season behind on points, his requirement is to race as many races as he can, get to 200 points, and then we'll take it from there. What I've done in the past is you forfeit the playoff points. So he's gaining these, which really is taken away. I'm going to look at the races that he's been in and everything like that. That'll maybe determine, maybe I take a couple because he was a late entry, but he's still there.
Right.
And then you got full pull right there in second with 3. He's been quick lately. So come playoff time, there's going to be a lot of names that aren't up in the top 5 right now that are going to be up there like, all right, where did these guys come from?
Right. I mean, we'll get to full pull and trucks in a bit, but however, I will say this right now: if you're looking at the points right now, Dilly is 34 below that cutoff, and I tell you, he needs to make these next couple races because right now Tunes is ahead of him by 34 points, and I hate to say this, but Dilly is a rookie or whatever. He needs to get these points back up to make the playoffs. And
but I don't know if Dilly could make make the 200 threshold.
Right.
I don't know if he has the races to be able to get up in there. And
we haven't seen him since Vegas, though.
Yeah. But if he joins any of the races, we know he's one to watch for sure.
Oh, well, you saw it at the season
question.
You saw it at Daytona. He in turnover. The Joe Gibbs organization had something going under those motors under that car. I swear.
The whole Yoda class was right there.
Really was.
All of us were right there underneath underneath the blanket, and it just worked really, really good.
Really
I'm looking forward to Talladega myself now that I know that I've got the right transmission. And Maddie, I'm coming for your crown once Talladega comes around.
I'm stealing your points for you, but I'll steal your points.
No,
I'll take your points.
I just want Maddie's plate crown. That's all I want.
You know what I'm doing? I'm taking your playoff points just away for you when I race that race.
You do that to your own broadcast, buddy, man. That just hurts me.
If you look at the remainder of the races, there's some interesting ones. We got Indianapolis. We haven't been on Indy in a while. Kentucky.
Oh, and I won there in trouble.
Darlington.
Kentucky's
that Talladega before the playoffs, that HD race is going to be huge.
Yeah,
it was last year. It made a difference with a lot last year, but it set the Final Four, I think, one year, and it's an awesome race.
It really is.
HD means high definition.
Yeah,
no, it means high draft.
Then you got playoffs. You got 3 high draft tracks. In there, I almost said definition. You got Michigan.
Good job,
that decides the round of 8.
Michigan Auto Club in Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta is the championship 4. That's up for
and
anybody.
And Atlanta's another high draft track, too.
That is, I know this. Atlanta on high draft and either in Xfinity or trucks, it's going to wear your tires out within 2 to 3 to 5 laps. We've done it before, and it's not good. It's scary to me.
It's scary, but it's a great championship race.
It is a challenge.
It's a
great
championship race.
I agree, and I like the idea how you all do it, where one season you do Homestead for the championship, then Phoenix, and then Atlanta, and then reset. That's I love about it. We don't have to go to one track every finale and say, all right, we're going to Phoenix for the championship again. Yeah, well, that's what NASCAR does it well. I want to shake it up. That's why I like Mr.
we had it like that a while ago. We did have a certain championship track, but then I forgot who brought it up. They were like, we should just alternate between these 3 tracks. I think it was RKM.
Because I believe Atlanta was the championship race one time in NASCAR.
Yeah, it has been.
I know, what was it called? I know Phoenix is the current one. I know Homestead used to always be that one.
Yep.
It was. I love Homestead, yes, but they do.
I do too. From what I understand, the reason why Homestead had their race yesterday is they're getting ready to go into renovations in hopes of getting it back for next season, actually, for a championship weekend.
It should be.
They should.
That's what I've heard. That's what I heard, and that's the reason why Homestead had their race yesterday. Is because they're getting ready to go into renovations in hopes of having the championship race in next November.
Right. And I think now let's head over to trucks. Dave, do you want to explain your sponsorship real quick?
Our sponsorships are Printaholics of Central Illinois, Christian family-owned business serving Central Illinois and counties around. They have all the T-shirts, hoodies, anything that you want to print it on clothing. They also do wraps for semis, vans, cars. I mean, they've even done a couple of race cars. So, I mean, they're pretty big. I've went into their shop, and it's the amount of equipment they got is unreal. I mean, this is probably.
Don't forget they make the official. They make the official Misfits Racing League T-shirts.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I still have one left. It's a 2X. Anybody
I have a couple extra large. Large. I have a couple large. I have a couple that are larges.
I've got mine.
I'll take a large.
Send me the info and we'll get you settled, man.
You know, I got to do
Sounds like a winner.
2Xs or 3Xs because I'm a fat guy. So, you know.
No, man. Jeez. Dave had to suck his gut in one
spaghetti.
time.
I like my spaghetti.
Well, you
I
had to
will
suck
say
your
my
gut in.
2X fits way better than my XL.
Let's give a shout out to them. Thanks for everything.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you guys. The second one is Tomco Prince. Now, this is the nephew, the owner of Printaholics, and what he does is he does little business cards and like pamphlets and stuff. So, you know, and that Printaholics I could get again. It's just so the business they do is unreal. I mean the footage of their warehouse. Oh my God, it's almost a football field long. So it's a long walk for an old guy.
Well, we definitely want to thank Tomco Prince and Printaholics for sponsoring us as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
100%. And speaking
Tomco
of
Prince, they were looking at all the stats and they're like, man, how does he do that?
that's what I say every week, Dave. I'm like, how does he do it?
It's
That's a personal sponsor for you, bro, because you are the fat man of Misfits.
He's good, ain't he?
From, God, how many seasons you got? We're in season 12, and
So
you
he's got
have
all of them.
season all the way back to season 1, 2, 3. I came in the league in season 3, so.
we've talked so much, and you've turned it all into stats.
He is the stat guy. We should just have his nickname,
awesome.
Dave, the stat guy, Ferguson.
That's how I didn't know it. He knew that
Dave
me and
the Stat
RKM, we were tied at Daytona for wins, and RKM hates Daytona. I love it, but I was tied with
Matty,
him,
I'm
and
right
then
there
Dave's
with
like,
you,
check
pal.
the chat.
Matty, I'm right there with you. I love restrictor plate racing.
And I'm supposed to have a meeting with the Printaholics this week, but with my schedule, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So it might be a couple weeks. So, and we're talking about the T-shirts and stuff. And we got a couple
Champions,
good
don't think we
ideas.
forgot about you guys. You guys, we know, I know I owe some trophies. They're in the works. We've got everything up and moving again now. It took a minute with my guy with Mustang Makers, but we're getting some ideas going. The shipping for these things is what's, whew. It costs a bit to ship these things. So just bear with us. We'll get them out to you.
If you're a champion like Corolla or GU and like myself and JPR, we're gonna wait. So we're gonna wait.
Oh yeah, JP, you guys know you got one coming in, and maybe something else. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but
Let me ask you this really quick. Doesn't Turnover get 1-2 just because he won MVP?
he won most popular driver. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a list. So when I reach out for addresses, it'll be expect this in the mail at some point.
I will send you mine whenever they get ready to ship. So
Yep.
I'll get you. But
I
there
will
you
be
go,
sending
turnover.
everybody a message.
There you go, turnover. You finally win an award. It's called.
You deserve it, dude.
Well, here's the
Everybody
thing.
loves turning this thing.
They do. Everyone
Oh,
loves
yeah.
turnover. But here's the thing. He's going to win something that Browns haven't done is win an award. I'm sorry, turnover. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that was harsh, but come on.
I'll win a Grammy.
Turnover, I'm sorry. I know that was harsh on your Browns, but it has to
You
be
got
true,
you to
man.
burn on that one, Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
But no, well, we
He
got those
deserves
ones.
it, though. Most popular, yeah. I mean,
he
you
really
jump in a lobby,
does.
you see turnover. You know, if you race him, he's one of the cleanest guys you're going to race
Oh,
with the
100%.
whole entire race.
He's funny as crap.
Boom. He's going to sit there, crack some jokes, and you're going to laugh. So you're going to have a good time.
And I'm going to try to make him wreck while laughing.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I got to do to like, get by you.
Then you're just
And it
laughing, and
works half
then
the time.
your eyes are closed, and you're like, oh, well, didn't see that one coming. I was too distracted on laughing with turnover, but
I've lost
Most of the time he drives. Most of the time he drives that green car that looks like a booger. It's like a flying snot coming up on you.
right, he loves that. Dude, he loves that 20 machine in Xfinity. You just watch him drive a booger machine. I used to remember he drove the 97 in trucks, and that was his car. I was like, man.
Yeah, I drove a few numbers.
Yeah, that
But-
97. I remember that.
It seems like I do good if I don't keep the same number for a while. It's like when I bounce around numbers, I don't know, I just noticed that rhythm.
I don't blame you. I mean, I didn't have to expect to have rhythm in the 45 when I first drove it, and then a couple seasons later, I won a championship. I didn't expect it, so.
I think I come in season 2, I believe. I got the invite from RKM. I think it was season 2 or season 1. I couldn't remember when I first come in, and it took me to season 10 to finally get a win, my first one.
Yeah, and it was a good one, and I was right there.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, you had to realize it was turnover, Brandon, and myself, the top 3, and of course, I didn't expect to finish a podium at Indianapolis, but hey, a win's a win, right? I mean, you gotta get it somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, because your brother helped you out that night. Yeah, because your brother helped you in that Talladega race. I remember that.
Hey, a win's a win. A win's a win.
I agree.
In
I really
Misfits,
agree.
if you get a win, it's not easy.
No,
It's,
I mean,
I mean, there's some of us that it's like, damn, we fight. we battle, you know?
right, and I've been here for so many seasons. Yeah, it's depressing, but after I got mine, what was it, season 9 or whatever at Homestead, and I had to outstretch
And then
Maddie.
you turned it around into a truck championship.
That honestly, I didn't expect to pull out.
That was pretty.
I
didn't even win a race, and he got a
Didn't even win
championship.
a
Hey, I'm
race.
Matt Crafton
That's
that.
how
I'm
I got mine. That's how I got mine, dude.
I'm Matt Crafton that thing. Thank you very much.
I didn't even. I got mine way back in like when we first the inaugural truck series, and I beat RKM back when we did points in the last race. I beat RKM at Phoenix on points, and he finished like a spot or 2 in front of me. I still got him by a point in for the championship. So I know
Right.
what it's like, dude. That was awesome, and you did it. You got it done.
And
I got a second place finish without a win in the Cup Series.
Yeah. It happens.
Well, here's the thing, if I still watch that race here and there and just say, I watch, I'm like, okay, what did I need to do better or something? And I remember that, I think it was the very first, second to last pit stop. I know you went one way, Brandon went the other way, Maddie. I was like, well, and I wasn't paying attention. I look up and I'm like, I'm late. Wow, okay, I didn't expect that. So, but then again, someone didn't go on the restart that night, and that's what jacked up the whole field, and I gained that track.
Everything worked for you that night. So.
It did. It really did.
I was really hoping he was going to win that night because I was cheering in my head. I was like, yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
I'm sorry I got emotional in that night. If y'all watched that stream, and yes, it was emotional. I'm sorry. I know Keystone texted me or said something. It's not that emotional. Well, it's emotional for me, man. I've been here trying to fight my butt off. So, but
anyways, let's get to the truck standings and let Dave kind of take over in regards to that.
Well, truck standings aren't the same because they're the same as last week.
No, we were just at Bristol, Nick. We were just at...
Dave posted the... Wait, was that really updated, Dave? Because it looked like the same ones after Bristol.
No.
Or before Bristol.
Oh, those are... He's got updated points in there.
Where are they? I gotta look at them. But, Dave, if you want to talk about Bristol really quick, let me look for these points. Because I know you just sent the points from weeks before. Let me... Okay, I see him now. Okay, I see him now. Never mind. We're good. Because you sent the wrong ones. But yeah. So going into Bristol this past week was
I see it now.
It was a crapshoot, if you ask me. And I'm sorry to say that. What?
It was definitely mayhem.
Yes, it was. And it's just... Everyone was beating and banging, fighting for position, jockeying for position, 4 wide, 3 wide, I think I had a headache after that race. And our very own leader, Matty, got a stage win. Dave got second in general. Gentlemen, Matty, first of all, I mean, where did that speed come in stage 2?
Oh, dude, honestly, I just kind of felt the race shift to a caution fest, and I pit once, and I was like, all right, I'm going to run these as far as I could. And then all of a sudden, it went from running as far as I can to, okay, I'm gapping them a little bit. Okay, and I just kept inching away, and I was like, I can run this to the end of the stage, and that's ended up what happening. So I just got lucky, I guess, on that one, because I'm not good at Bristol.
Oh yeah, you gotta realize Bristol is a track where if someone makes a mistake, you can capitalize on that mistake.
I think we saw one too many mistakes in that race, though. Several guys going 4 wide, and with trucks and a short track like that, it just doesn't work.
But we didn't also take into effect that it was white flag at the end of a stage. I mean, we talked about it. Points are tight. If you look at the points for trucks right now, we've mentioned these names pretty much all show. You got Full Pole, Corolla, Fula, Piff, Dave, Rob, Turnover. They're all... every point matters. I won a stage point and didn't even do anything. Really.
Well, who this really didn't help out going into this week is you, Michael, because you went from 10th in points, and now you're sitting below that cutoff. And given that this week it's at I'm so sorry.
Road America this coming week.
I'm so mind blank right now. So yes, Road America, Michael, and yet you gotta make up these points. You are below the cutoff, and what do you gotta do to gain those points back?
Well, not only that, you got to be very smooth on the braking points, because there's some really good braking points here at Road America that I'm really looking forward to this coming week.
And again, another driver who kind of did the same thing with Michael, but he moved up 4, was Rolling, and he's right now above that cutoff by 1 point over Speedway. And gentlemen, Rolling has been fast these last couple weeks, and remember, Bristol was the last race to get top 12 locked in before these playoffs. And surprisingly, if Rolling can keep this and Rogue, because they're both tied for 11th in points, and right now I think if one of those two can do a good job at Road America, I think one of them is going to beat the other.
You have to also realize this: we have 5 races before the playoffs, and anything can happen. We have dashes every week as well, so things can really take a change.
That is true, because dashes could ruin your chances too.
And there's something you guys have mentioned, but it's been misconstrued a couple times. no matter what, if you're below that top 12 and you're a rookie, you're going to get locked in for the next 5 races.
Okay,
Speedway still got a shot.
Oh, absolutely, and I thought Speedway had a chance at victory lane this past week in Bristol before all the mayhem happened at the end of the race, to be honest with you. It looked like, with the strategy move that he had there, it looked like he had a chance at winning that race.
Right.
I think he was on the old tires. It might have helped him get up there, but I'll tell you what, he's working at it and practicing a lot. I talked to him today, so he can't put himself up there.
Oh, absolutely, and that's another guy you kind of got to look out for too. Is some of these rookies that are, that may have, felt like they're getting their feet wet, and maybe now that they're starting to get a little more comfortable in the second half, that you may see some of these rookies start to run a lot better.
Exactly,
and that goes for all series.
Cowboy, exactly. I was just gonna say you need to look out for full pull.
I was about to get on that topic.
That boy coming. You look at him, he's leading truck points, and he's 9th in Xfinity points right now. He's 31 behind Cowboy.
Well, here's the thing.
3 playoff points.
Well, here's the thing. The next 2 weeks are patience tracks, and that's kind of tracks that fall into my type of style of racing. So let's not go getting concerned when we've got 5 weeks of racing still. We got a lot to go before playoffs come.
I was going to say, Full Pool, I mean, you look at him right now, he is right now the points of the year, and remember, he won the first 2 races. Surprised us all. That's really crazy in trucks, having a rookie win the first 2 races in trucks. I mean...
Not only that, we've seen some really good finishes in trucks this season as well. Just from us and we really have. It seems like every race so far has come down to that last lap where either, we saw Corolla run out of gas at Sonoma, we saw Matty blow the tire at Charlotte, we saw just mayhem at Bristol, Road America's...
Dang, it's been interesting, huh?
It's been very interesting.
You put it like that, I didn't even think of it like that.
Well, not only that, you think of the drag race that Corolla and Full Pull had at Daytona.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing really quick is that, we're heading to Road America this week. And remember, if you all remember Sonoma, there's no cautions. There's only stages to rely on your spots. And if someone makes a mistake, you can capitalize on those mistakes.
And Road America is a big track, too, this week. And you make one little mistake, and you could literally lose about 10 to 15 seconds very quickly.
Easily.
Man, I wanted that Bristol. I've never finished better than top 5, but I got a second. So
that was a great run. It was a great run for that 2 truck.
It was, and I think
I just survived. That's all I did.
Well, I think everybody was trying to do the "I will survive" type of thing at Bristol.
Yeah, I think everyone was trying to do that, but we had some. Well, I don't want to say it, but we had some issues and penalties after Bristol. And Dave, if you want to mention that really quick, because
not really.
He's like, not really, but I got to.
Well,
we had Matty on a verbal, and we got Roland on a verbal. Jamie Corolla, I think he's got a 1 race suspension. Is that correct, Matty?
It's gonna go to a verbal. We're gonna.
Well,
like I said, coming from an admin point of view, we take everything into consideration. I mean, this was brought up. You got every question has been brought up, so might as well get the elephant out of the room. He's gonna get hit with a verbal, put on a high watch. I mean, him and Roland, they both understand. I mean, that they both went 4 wide. So
yeah, and
two parties. I'm not going to penalize one harsher than the other in this incident, because if you're sitting there, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was sitting there wondering, all right, where's this break going to happen where I can try to sneak by and get as many points as I can?
Right.
So I get
exactly.
it. I get it. A hole open. I mean, I say it all the time. I'm going to put my nose in a hole that it shouldn't go in. I do it. Every now and then it backfires. That's what happened. And it's a short track. So,
But
that's the story with that.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was a raised suspension, this would have been a costly points, like very
costly for in points.
Because right now, if you're looking at points and trucks, he's 9 points behind Full Pool, and I tell you what, it's a road course. And I talked to Full Pool a couple weeks ago after Sonoma. I was like, Full Pool, what happened? And he's like, well, road courses aren't my thing. I'm like, oh man, he needs to have a good week this week to maintain that points lead. And
not only that, we have
seed.
Indy Roval in the second half of the regular season for trucks. So we've got a lot of tracks coming up here in the second half of the season for trucks where it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be
very challenging.
I think we see a first-time winner at the Indy Roval.
Yeah, well, I might I'm gonna say Indy Oval turnover. That's my best guess. Because if you remember this turnover, you got your first win in trucks, and then I can't remember what season it was, but then Henrico got his win on fuel strategy. If you remember that. So there's possibilities we may see a first-time winner in Indianapolis if it's the Oval or Roval. And again, Indy Roval is a track where you got to be cautious and not hit like the curbing or anything because you'll get penalized and you'll lose time. And that track is just
first-time winner at the Roval because we've never raced there. So records will be set there, fastest laps will be set there.
Yeah, see, I told you it'd be a first-time winner.
Well, I mean,
It'll be the first time we're at the track that we've never visited.
When I meant turnover, I'm talking about like a driver, like who's never won in this league, like ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Me?
You've already won. Shut up. Well, here's my pick.
What number did you win in?
56.
See, that's a good number to have because I won in the 56. Turnover won in the 56. I think the next
Dave won in the 56. A couple others, I believe, won in the 56.
I helped Renter get his win. I will tell you that. I did that. I remember I did that.
So why not let it continue to Speedway to see if he gets his first win?
That's what I was going to say.
It's possible.
Matty mentioned it really good. Speedway's been good this last couple. I think it was either Matty or Dave who said Speedway's been really good, and I think that 56 truck can go back to victory lane. And I tell you, if it was that Bristol, that 56 truck winning, what trend would have kept it going. I tell you, that number is a good thing to run if you're a rookie to get your.
Here's a little table topic for second half of the season. Let's see who everybody thinks that can possibly win a first race still. I mean, we've seen Full win his first 2 Xfinity races this season. I mean, let's talk about the trends of people possibly grabbing their first wins.
For Cup, I will say Michael and Nick.
I'm going to go with Reb, because Reb's been really strong the last couple of races as well.
Yeah, throw one of those 3 in. Those 3. Rogue, he's always, I mean, you look at Cup, any of these races, if it gets to the right spot.
You remember
I would put Gar in the mix as well.
Rogue took Bristol.
Yeah, he took Bristol Dirt a couple seasons ago, which surprised me, honestly. I just was like, man, how did I outrun, or how Rogue outrun? But yeah, I mean, that's good. 3 picks right there you got right there.
Rogue's good if his internet holds up.
Yeah.
Yes. Now for
Xfinity, I would say I could see Zaz getting the victory lane. I could see Fuller winning another one turn. Dave, me, Piff, Cowboy. I mean, Eternal. It's a fine mix. But the thing in Xfinity is you got to beat JPI.
I'll put him in the wall for my win.
That's a definite deal.
I'll pay you $20 for Dave.
You gotta beat JPR. Trucks, it's gonna be
interesting with trucks. To
you
be honest with you.
You gotta get by Full Pool Corolla. You saw those It's going to be a different style racing in the truck.
It really is, especially with Eldora.
JPR's going to be there, so he's.
And not only that, we've got Eldora in a couple weeks, guys, and that's.
It's going to get, yeah, I mean.
That's the track I'm looking forward to.
If I had a top 3 pick already for Eldora, it's either gonna be Maniac, Dave, and Piff in the top 3 because those 3. Whew.
I would go with Maniac, Piff, and Corolla with my top 3 for Eldora, just due to stats.
Yeah, but again, another driver who, like I've said it before, who has my pick most of the times, and he said, "Don't pick me," and it's you, Dave. I swear, Dave, Xfinity is calling your name. I'm telling you.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping really. I really thought.
Too bad Xfinity didn't go to Eldora.
We could have a dirt week.
Here, let me go on AR 2003 and just mod it for you, and I could do it for you and just say Dave won for you. How about that?
I can see Dave picking up a win.
Dude, I have. Ooh.
I'm looking at the schedule before playoffs. I can see Dave winning. I could see Piff getting a win. I could see Turnover getting a win. Turnover and Jamie are the 2 guys that actually know the Indy Roval. I will put that out there.
Another
Man, you give my secret away.
Yeah, I know.
Well, really quick.
I'm putting it out there as a competitor. I know Turnover and Jamie, those 2 know the Roval. I know Eldora, there's the 2 King of Darts in here. I mean, we got to give it to both of them. Piff and Maniac, those guys. Dave, he's been showing up at Eldora lately.
We just had a comment in the chat saying Speedway just said, "Hey, I'm a dirt racer in real life, so we might want to watch out for Speedway."
Way.
So the tightest points are definitely going to become trucks.
Definitely, especially with the way the cutoff line right now.
That truck series is going to go crazy.
That's something else. It's double points. So if you're in the back and somebody misses,
that could help you.
A ton of points up.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, big time.
That's insane. Them points are going to get crazy, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, make sure you fill it up too, because if it gets full, it's 100%. Yep. It gets full.
Also, one more I'd like to touch on I'm going to announce it right now before the race Wednesday for the Xfinity Series. For Xfinity is at Gateway this week, and there is an access road for the pits, which means you take that road entering pits
Turn 3
and exiting pit.
Yeah.
When that road ends, you can merge back onto the track. When you go to pit, whether green flag, you got to be on the road this week.
I did that race last night, and
Turnovers in that brought it to my attention. We haven't raced on one of these. We do actually run where if it has one, we normally run the access road. But there's one track where it messes you up.
Oh, I know which track's gonna mess everybody up with pit road. Darlington.
Is it down? I don't know.
Darlington is sneaky because you have got to be careful because you've got to you got to go around 3 and 4 and slow down to 45 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, to get to pit road, yeah.
But the entry to pit road at Darlington's even trickier because it's mostly coming out of. It's like the middle of 3 and 4 there.
Yeah.
So Darlington's pit road is going to be very tricky, but I think the pit road that's going to be very tricky for trucks is going to be Dover in the playoffs, guys, because you guys got to roll down onto that backstretch in turn 3 and get that thing cranked down to 35.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky track.
Well, you got to be lucky you don't spin out either.
Yeah.
That's the biggest key there at Dover because Dover is very slanted.
And not only that, it's the only concrete. I believe it's the only concrete track, ain't it?
We were just at concrete this past week with Bristol. Bristol and Dover are the 2 concrete tracks on this game.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you got Talladega High Draft to set the final 4.
That's going to be very
Now,
interesting.
See, that's a good track to finish it off in the round of 8.
That's the way to set the Final Four. To be honest.
Absolutely.
I've been coming in clutch for a couple of times.
That's been in the schedule for the last 5 seasons, and it has always produced some of the best.
Can we make it custom setups?
You wish. No, but here's the thing. I've come in clutch a couple times where I had to get it myself in, and I was in that predicament where I'm like, okay, I need to get myself some points and stuff like that to keep myself in. So, but I mean, anything can happen. So there's a possibility. I'm not gonna say it, but there's probably a possibility we may see a big one at Talladega. But I could be wrong. But the last couple of seasons we've had at Talladega in the Truck Series, it's been clean since the drop of the checkered flag.
You mean drop of the green?
Drop of the green.
Yeah,
he said drop it.
Dropping the checkers on first half of the race. All right, we're done.
Well, you know what I meant, Jake.
What cautions were, but I don't think there was any cautions.
I don't believe at Talladega there wasn't.
I ruined my Final Four race when I slid in and I caught DJ, and it gave Turnover a shot.
And that was last.
Yeah, it did.
Because I had him beat on points.
And then when he got that speeding penalty, it helped me out. I was able to get around him.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, you know what kicks me is that whenever I raced and I had someone with me, like in the draft or something, I'm working with GU, and that last stop always kicks me in the butt. I'm like, oh, did I just be? Yep. Oh man, that's not what I needed. But I mean, anything can happen in these last couple of weeks, so.
I think that's where the biggest part is. You get so tense on, hey, I got a top 3, I got the top 3, and you mess up. And I think that's key is just to be calm.
Right, and then you gotta make sure you gotta pick your way through the field left and right.
Not only that, you need the right draft partner too at Talladega.
And like Thursday night, I was still shaking almost 30 minutes after the race.
You were probably shaking when you were sleeping, saying, "Man, I had it.
I almost had it."
He's like, you gotta be quicker than it.
I should have blocked that bottom.
But then, if you had did that, the outcome would have been JPR spun, and then there would have been a caution. We had another overtime.
No, what did happen because the white flag had already been taken.
Yep.
Hey, you know what I'm going to touch on real quick? We haven't talked much about it, but this Cup Series, you look at points schedule, could get interesting.
Very, very.
I mean, Dover, you're looking at, could Red be the one that gets up there and bumps these guys around? At Michigan, if RKM makes it and Mills make it,
the Canadian boys could have something for the Michigan boys.
Yeah, then the Canadian boys could be tackling the Michigan boys. Bristol Dirt, you got Rogue sitting there just like in the shadows. That could get good. Watkins Glen, that's a... Michael, your Talladega's in there?
I forgot about Watkins Glen in the schedule. I love Watkins Glen. It's great. I mean, unless we have a big field and they ruin the fun for it.
I mean, that's...
Well, I got a Bristol Dirt announcement. We will be driving the 41 car instead of the 14.
Ooh. I just want to ask, is it a tribute?
No, we have switched sponsors and we're going with the 41.
Okay.
Ooh, what a curveball, Dave! What a curve! I didn't think to hear that, but
well, think of the curveball I threw you a couple weeks ago, Nick, when I changed car numbers.
Oh, yeah, number 16.
41 will be the rest of the season.
Okay.
Well,
so you're taking the 41 races with the 41?
Well, 14 backwards. Think about it.
But
I took the 19 just solely based off. I mean, I'm ready for the new game to where I can get to 60. That's when I'll start that brigade. I got a Yoda factory right now.
Yeah, I'm ready for the new game.
Well,
That
here's
new
the
game will
thing.
be
Like
fun.
Maddie said, when are you gonna switch rides? There's no way I'm switching rides. I'm staying at Trackhouse. You ain't gonna make me. I'm staying at Trackhouse, man. I represent
Well, on that
Trackhouse
note,
with
I
pride.
gotta back out of here, boys. But I would like to give the sponsors one more shout out: Mustang Makers, Beneath the Oak Podcast, Primaholics, Tomco Prince. Thank you guys for helping the league out. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
this episode definitely helped enlighten some point situations, some stuff that was going on in the league. Covered a little bit of everything. If you have any questions, Cup, you can get a hold of Michael, you can get a hold of RKM, Xfinity, go ahead, message me, message Turnover, any admin will tell you about Xfinity. And then trucks, you got Dave, you got Turnover, you got whoever. If you got a question, feel free to ask an admin, ask somebody else in the league, they may tell you. But I gotta dip out of here. You guys have a good night.
Thank you, Maddie, for joining us.
See you later, Matty.
I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, it
thought
was.
so too. So, with that being said, like Maddie said, we'd like to thank our sponsors, and he.
I will make one thing, Nick. We lost somebody in our church family this past weekend, Miss Amy Sale, and I just want to give the family a shout out and Pastor Tony.
And our deepest condolences there.
Yes.
Yes, very true. But with
So
that being
I'm going to step out with that said. So you guys have a good night. And
Thank you very much, Dave, for joining us.
Yep, and with all the sponsors Maddie just pointed out, we can't wait to see you all at Gateway on Wednesday night. I hope to see you all there. Until then.
And not only that, we will see, and for truck fans, we will see you at Road America Thursday night.
Yes, sir, we will. And with that being said, we're going to close this out, and I hope to see you all there.
Until then, happy trails to you.